You and Chris are going to be in here talking about God knows what.
Howdy. How y'all doing?
Hola. That's
That
Spanish
means-
for hello.
That's very good, Chris.
Thank you. Uno, dos, tres.
I learned enough Spanish in high school to really frustrate an actual Spanish speaker. And then I forgot it probably.
All you need to know, man. Listen, let me tell you all you need to know. Okay?
What's that?
Dos cerveza, por favor.
Yeah.
Baños, por favor. That's all
True,
you need to know.
baños.
Really, all you need to know.
That's very true. And I will tell you something else that high school Spanish taught me, and that is that I can now order with some confidence off the Taco Bell menu. Enchilado. You got to roll the R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Burrito.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I didn't do well in Spanish.
I did not either.
One of the reasons I didn't do well in Spanish is because I sit next to Clay Kelly.
Oh, I can see how that could be an issue. Yeah.
Chico.
Clay Kelly. Hey, dude, if you're listening to us, love you, man. I hope you're
miss
doing
you,
well.
man.
I miss
I would
Clay
love
Kelly.
to see you for
Yeah,
sure.
and his nickname.
Hey, Senorita O'Brien, we didn't hit it off.
Really?
No.
I got along with her really good.
I mean, if you know, you know, but she was asking me a question, and I wasn't really sure she was asking me the question, and that's how our year started off.
That's how that started.
If you know, you know.
And it set the tone, apparently. So,
She thought,
there
I
you
guess
go.
she thought I was making fun of her, but I wasn't because I really was clueless.
Oh, okay. Wow. I was clueless for a lot of the 80s. So, there you go.
It happens.
It happens. And speaking of things that are happening, folks, if you'd like to go to the website, it's retroshow.net. And lots of things are happening there. First of all, that's where all of our episodes are listed and all of the places where you can partake of our episodes. We have them on the YouTubes. We have them at Spotify and any other place that you get your podcast. We're probably there.
And if you can't get the YouTubes, go down to Walmart's and get you a TV so you can get the YouTubes.
The YouTubes at the Walmarts.
At the Walmarts.
At the Walmarts.
Right.
If you know, you know. If you're from here, you totally get that reference. If you're from that part of the country where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, also, we have a phone number if you'd like to get a hold of us. It is
501-697-9933.
501-697-9933. You can leave us a voicemail. They can text us there.
Do you know how long it's been since you've asked me to recite that number?
It's been a while since we've
Literally,
thrown it
I
out
pulled
there.
that out of places that haven't seen daylight
I know.
in a while.
Nobody needs to see that.
No,
they don't. What's been happening, man?
Regional softball.
Regional softball.
I was at a softball game today.
And how's Cayenne doing?
They did good. They won the first game.
Excellent.
In regionals, which means they just punched their ticket to the state tournament with
Fantastic.
one win. And the team that I was concerned with them playing the next day got beat today.
Ooh.
Quitman
well, there you
got
go.
beat. Sorry, if y'all are from Quitman and you're listening to this, your team got beat today, which was a surprise to me, and I think surprise to them, and a surprise to a
them.
lot of people.
Yeah.
They got beat 5-4.
Oh,
And
man.
So, one of the coaches is actually one of Cayenne's off-season coaches,
Okay.
and super nice guy.
Yeah.
And I talked to him. He's like, well, we got 10 hits. You should win a game if you get 10 hits. And we didn't win. So
Other team got more hits.
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there when it happened.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to do a little bragging right now. My son Ryan competed in the regional Special Olympics
Heck yeah.
last weekend, and he won the 400-meter walk, which means he now qualifies for the state.
That's awesome.
And so in a
That
couple
is
of
awesome.
weeks, he will be competing at the state level.
So
in
both our
Special
kids are
Olympics.
going to state.
Both of our kids.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder Twin Powers
Activate. Okay, that used to tick me off because they had the opportunity to turn into cool things, and they never did.
No, they didn't.
No.
Water spout.
Turn into, a bucket of water. And he was like, he could have turned, or was it her or him that turned? No, he turned into water.
Yeah.
Okay, so he could have turned into something like a tsunami. She could have been
Right.
a T-Rex at any time.
Right.
If you could be a T-Rex, you
Man,
need to
what
be a T-Rex.
Typhoon.
Be a typhoon.
Right.
And if you can be Batman, be Batman. But if
I'm
you
Batman.
can't, be a T-Rex.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. But anywho, the topic of today's show is 80s facts and trivia, and it is a
Homage.
a plethora of
Oh, sorry.
homages.
Man, hey, you listen. We've worked this out. When you point that finger at me, I'm supposed to say that line.
Okay,
That wasn't fair. You tricked me.
you're right. You're right, ladies and gentlemen. The Retro Show is
An homage.
to growing up in the 70s and 80s, much like we did. That's a nice recovery, though, I have
Thank
to
you.
say. That was
You
nice
did a good
recovery.
job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Are we podcasting?
We are podcasting right now. And here's the thing that people don't, if you notice that we've changed the layout a little bit.
We have.
I have simplified the wiring, and we now are operating off one camera.
We're now using subliminal messages. If you'll look behind my
Send me
right
money.
shoulder,
Send me money.
it says
Send me money. Send me
coffee.
money. Send me
coffee,
money.
which you can buy coffee at our store.
At our store, which you can
Retro
go
Show.
retroshow.net.
Yep.
Chris, are you ready to start podcasting?
I am. Oh, don't bruise it. Don't bruise it. Yeah. Hey, guys. I know I always say this, but drink local.
There you go. So now we're going to start podcasting, I reckon. And so here's what we're going to do first. We're going to go away for a short break. We're going to thank our producers.
Okay.
Because they deserve thanking.
I'm telling you right now, dude, thank you all very much.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart,
you.
thank you. It's impressive,
Yep.
actually. So
the
appreciate
fact
it.
that you guys will actually give money to this. I should be a TV preacher, but I don't have the right hair.
Man, hey, when we come back, ask me again, and I'll tell you what I was going to tell everybody.
Okay, we'll be back right after this. Well, Chris, we got a brand new producer.
I love it.
I do. I love it.
Love it.
It's Kate S.
Kate S.
Yes. She
Kate S.
now joins the
Kate S.
Kate S.
I like
S.
it. Kate S.
And she it's Kate S. And she is now a proud producer of the. Well, I don't know how proud she is, but she is nice
She
enough to
gotta
give
be
us
proud,
money.
man.
Yeah,
She probably got a Team Chris shirt.
you would know. You would think. You would think. Also on the list, of course,
LNC Corporation.
you don't cross LNC
You
Corporation.
never cross
You don't even
LNC.
think about it.
That's right.
Roger McDougal.
Melinda Hignite.
Yeah. Hey, Melinda. Thank you.
Yep.
Dusty Breeze.
Old Dusty Breeze.
Old Dusty Breeze.
Kevin Goff.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, appreciate it, brother.
Norton. And then we got Chris B.
Nancy Schwartz.
Nancy Swartz. Big Josh Ramsey.
Joshua Ramsey off the trail.
Comes in riding in off the trail and wants rye whiskey right
He
now.
wants a little bit of that coffee we make.
I know, some of that coffee. Fran Adams.
Fran. EM.
E.M. Thank you very much. And Bradford the Behemoth Mason. And
The one, number one in our hearts.
the very first producer, Tanya Hyman.
Tanya Holland. And you're number one, Tanya.
Thank you so much to all of our fantastic supporters. You can also support the podcast by heading to retroshow.net to find out more. Thank you
That
very
means
much.
you, Moose.
Moose. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Retro Show. I'm Butch Renfro, and with me, as always, is the one, the only...
Chris Curtis. Oh, hey, that chick is back, man. You even changed the studio, and she's still sitting in that same spot. What's up, baby?
Stalker.
What's up? Yep, my wife will kill you. Anyway, go ahead.
My wife will kill you. You just keep stalking, but you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. Sydney gets you. I'm just saying.
So I was going to tell these nice folks before we cut away a while ago a funny thing from the 80s. Do you remember the Bakers, the Jim and Tammy Baker?
Oh, Jim and Tammy Faye.
Tammy Faye Baker. Yeah. Do you remember those shirts that came out? The shirts.
Okay, so she wore a bunch of makeup, gaudy makeup, and someone made this shirt that looked like just this big smear, these two giant eyebrows and this smear of makeup. It says, I ran into Tammy Faye at the mall.
It was awesome. It was.
Those were
That's
great.
one of the best shirts from the 80s that there was.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was a good one. But yeah, speaking of the 80s, Chris, today I want to talk about facts and trivia from the 80s. And yeah, these are random. They're just kind of random things that I threw together.
You know what's sad?
What's that?
I mean, honestly, the kids these days, they really, and we didn't know at the time how good we actually really
we
had
did.
it.
We had it so good.
It was so awesome.
There's a future episode coming up about being Gen X that I have in the works, and I'm just telling you right now, I absolutely believe that we grew up in the best spot.
I think so.
We could. You know?
I think so. I mean, I always said I would have liked to have grown up in that era that Butch Patrick grew up in.
Yeah.
To see the music totally changed in the 60s,
Yeah.
the late 60s, and that, I'm a huge music guy. I just like music, and I just think to see all of that. I mean, I've got a handbill in my garage from the Grateful Dead. I really like the Grateful Dead too, and it's like Grateful Dead in San Francisco Golden Gate Park, free for anybody that just comes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That would just been cool.
Well, it's definitely a different time to grow up.
It was a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time to grow up. And the 60s were a whole special thing for folks. You being born in the 60s.
So have you ever seen the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Did you ever read the book?
Yes.
The book is hilarious. I laughed the entire time I was reading it. But the cool thing was, the cool line in that movie was, the year 1970 is when that was taking place. And he said, if you look to the west, you can almost see the high water mark.
Yeah.
That was a cool line to me.
You can almost see the high water mark, yeah. So, Chris, I'm just going to throw some of these out here, some of these facts and just little factoids about the 80s. Do you remember waterbeds?
I had a waterbed.
You did. You did have a waterbed.
I had the baffled waterbed.
Oh, that was even better.
You go, and it just stopped.
At one time, 20% of all mattress sales in 1987 were waterbeds.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
It was a $2 billion market. And you remember there were waterbed stores everywhere. Yep. Every strip mall out there had a waterbed store. And you had a waterbed. I never had one.
It was a very comfortable bed, I'm not going to lie to you. And the only bad thing about waterbeds is if the heater got unplugged, it was a bad night.
It got cold.
It was a bad night.
It was a bad night.
It really was.
But yeah, or if you had a leak.
Yeah, I never had leaks. I never had an issue with that.
But
what a pain in the ass to move.
Man. Because, you had to drain them for one thing,
Yep.
and that was that. You couldn't just pick it up and throw it in the back of your truck.
Nope.
No, they were, but
Does
yeah,
anybody
the
even
water
sell
beds.
waterbeds anymore?
I don't know. That's one of those things that we need to go online and investigate, because there has to be a smart entrepreneur would take care of the whole nostalgia thing with Gen X right now if you were to open a waterbed store and market to people like us.
The only thing is, man, we're getting older. Nobody can get out of the damn thing.
Nobody can get. That's very true.
Help! I'm in my bed and I can't get out.
I'm in my bed and I can't get out. I fell in my bed and I can't get out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so yeah, waterbeds, man. It's like you had one. A lot of people. I never had one.
I
never had one.
I got that for Christmas one year from my parents.
Yeah.
And that was a very cool gift.
Yeah.
I slept on it, I guess, from junior high all the way through high school. When we moved in, do you remember I brought the frame, but the mattress something was wrong with the mattress. I can't remember what it was. But I went down and bought a king-size mattress.
And threw it in the waterbed frame.
I took some L brackets and extended the frame out on one side, and I put that mattress in. That's what I slept in college. And it was,
oh, wow. So, in 1981, a soap opera helped the career of Rick Springfield.
I know which one it was, too.
Yeah.
General Hospital.
Yep. And after he recorded his album, Working Class Dog, the show got around 14 million views daily, which a lot of people say helped to propel Jesse's Girl to hit number one that year. And it's the only single that Rick ever had that hit number one.
Man, that's a good tune.
That
really is a good tune.
That is a great tune.
Do you know I got to see him?
I did too. I've seen him about 3 times.
I've only seen him once, and I only saw the tail end of his show. Joe Thrash was getting married, and Travis Birchfield was in the wedding. I was not in the wedding, but me and Cindy were at the wedding.
Right.
And then after when the reception was over, Birchfield was like, "Curtis, man, I got 2 extra tickets I said, I'm going to Rick Springfield. It's not sold out. Do you and Cindy want to ride down there with me?" And he had a Corvette. And I'm like, yeah. So we rode to Little Rock, and we get there, and they're like, the people at the ticket booth said it was almost over. And I'm like, well, I'm not giving my $7.95 or $8 for this ticket. So we sat outside and listened to him, and then they let us walk in later. We watched like 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Listen, he's a good performer.
He is.
Still is, even at his age. He's still.
What is he, like 72?
Yeah, he's on up there, man. But he's pretty well preserved, dude. His plastic surgeon.
Well, I mean, he worked at General Hospital. What do you expect?
Exactly. He met all of those guys there.
Oh my gosh.
Nintendo. I remember you had an NES.
I did.
Yeah.
I've had just about every video game system you could have.
Well,
just about.
Talking about Nintendo, do you know how they got into New York? Is a pretty cool little factoid here. In 1985, in an attempt to convince stores in New York City to carry the new Nintendo Entertainment System, a Nintendo executive promised they could send back the ones they didn't sell free of charge. And they ended up selling 50,000 the holiday season.
Dude, that game system really took the place of the Atari.
The Atari 2600.
The 2600. I mean, Atari had come out with their next. What was the next one? I did not buy that one.
Yeah,
but I acquired an NES.
Right.
Somebody owed my dad some money, and he acquired it, and I ended up with it. And of course, my brother was like, "I don't give a shit about a video game." I don't care. So I ended up with it, and Duck Hunt.
Wasn't that fun? Man, Duck Hunt was a blast. And the dog would come up and you shoot the dog.
Pearson, if you're watching this show, we had a good time with Duck Hunt.
Listen, man, all of those games, that thing rode high for a few years.
Me and Lynn Glover, Lynn Glover would get off work. He got off work at 10 or 11. I can't remember. He would come to my house, and we would play Nintendo. Order a Pizza Pro 5-pound pizza. You remember those?
Oh yeah.
We'd order that, and we'd sit there and play. I remember we couldn't turn the Nintendo off for like a month because we were playing Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Together. You had to keep it going.
And the way it went, always we'd get a new game, and I would throw Glover the instructions, and I'd start playing. And he'd read the instructions.
Walk me through, yeah.
He'd read the instructions while I was playing and let me know how to play, and then we'd switch off. When somebody died, you'd switch off. We had a great time, man. Tecmo Bowl. You remember Tecmo Bowl?
Dude, that might be my favorite NES game ever.
It is.
If you were playing Kansas City, you had Christian Okoye.
Not on that game.
Oh, that was Tecmo 2, wasn't it? Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's
This one
right. You
had-
didn't even have actual
you had
NFL teams on
Chicago.
that one.
Yes, you did. You had
Yeah,
Chicago
but
Bears.
they didn't have the names on.
You had San Francisco, but you had their numbers.
Yeah, their numbers.
You had 34 for Chicago, which is
Yeah.
Walter Payton.
Uh-huh.
And then
Sweetness.
you had Montana and Jerry Rice
Yeah.
for San Francisco, and there were certain plays you could run that were just freaking unstoppable.
Yeah, they were. When Tecmo Super Bowl came out, that's what I'm thinking of. That had Christian
Yes,
Okoye
yes,
and all
yes.
that. And if you
That's
played
correct.
Kansas City, now none of their other players were good on there, but Christian Okoye could run through anybody on that game.
Well, it was the same way with the original Tecmo Bowl. If you broke Peyton to the outside and
Yeah.
you cut up the screen, you were gone.
Yeah.
You know, it was just I don't know. It was a lot of fun, man. We had
was
a lot of
fun.
time playing that.
A lot of fun playing that one.
Yep.
Okay, next on the list, Mr. T. Did you know that is not a stage name? When he turned
No.
18, Lawrence Tirod legally changed his name to Mr. T because he wanted people to call him Mr.,
The
which he
first
considered
words out of
a
their
sign
mouths,
of respect.
Mister. That's
Mister.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Did you know how he became famous?
Well, he was a bouncer.
He
And
won the Tough Man
He won a
contest.
Tough Man contest.
But it was not the going the boxing ring tough man. It was like a obstacle course
Yes.
tough man contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Rocky III, just Clubber Lang broke him.
I'm the
Huge.
best. I'm the best in the world. Nobody can beat me. Hey, fool, you were out for another beating? You said I never came back.
I freaking love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Rocky III is a fantastic movie. And Mr. T was such a great,
Clubber Lane.
Clubber Lang, such a great opponent in that movie.
You remember he was in there and he had those ropes tied around the beam,
Yeah.
doing his chin ups on just ropes.
Yeah.
Yes, man. It was-
Man.
Man, if you weren't out jogging the next day,
Yeah.
you weren't a Rocky fan.
You weren't a Rocky fan. Okay, now, do you remember the movie 16 Candles?
That's one of my absolute favorite movies
Okay.
of all time.
Now, a fact about this movie, John Hughes, who was the director and writer of 16 Candles.
We've talked about John on this show.
Yes, we have. John Hughes was tearing it
Yeah, he
up
was tearing the
in
80s up.
He wrote it for Molly Ringwald before he actually met her because he had a headshot of her. And said he put it up there and he wrote that whole movie in like a few days, like 6 days.
Oh, sexy American girlfriend.
Oh
What a
man, there's
movie.
so many
What a
great
movie.
scenes in that movie.
So,
you know.
is it Michael Anthony Hall? I always get his name.
Anthony
wrong.
Michael
Anthony
Hall.
Michael Hall.
Yeah.
John Cusack.
John Cusack is in. Joan Cusack.
Joan
is in.
Cusack's in that movie. But that really rocketed Anthony Michael Hall's career.
To the stratosphere.
Yes.
And, Molly Ringwald, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was part of the Rat Pack.
Yeah, well, she ended up, because this is an early movie.
Brat Pack, not Rat Pack.
Brat Pack, right. But, yeah, and, a few years later, they would be together again, her and Anthony Michael Hall in The Breakfast Club, which is another fantastic
It's a
John
classic
Hughes movie.
That is, listen, guys, you young people, if any young people are listening to this show, watch The Breakfast Club if you've never seen it.
Yeah.
That is exactly
It's what it was.
how high school was.
That's how high school was.
Exactly.
That is how high school was.
Yep.
Speaking of John Hughes, he wrote Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 6 days.
And he's going to keep calling me.
Keep calling me and calling me. Now, it took him 6 days, and the reason it only took him 6 days is he was up against the wall because the writers were about to start striking, and he wanted to get it finished before the writers' strike started.
Classic. That's another classic movie.
Yeah, listen, that movie. Okay, so but here's the thing about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When I was younger and I saw that movie, I kind of sided with Ferris, but then I was like, going, this kid, as an adult, I'm like, this kid's a psychopath. This kid's a narcissistic psychopath. He's like, this is like later on they're going to be going, check the crawl spaces under his house, kind of stuff. So I'm like,
I don't know about
I
that,
don't know
man.
about
Everybody in the town, save Ferris, who is his sister? Jean Grey? Is that who his sister was? Is that her name?
Jean Grey is an X-Men.
I know that, but it's Grey, something Grey.
Jennifer
Grey.
Jennifer Grey.
She was in Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing, yes.
Yeah. Dude, when she jumps around the corner and that principal jumps around the corner at the same time, she kicks in the face like
Yeah.
6 times.
Hilarious scene.
Oh, my gosh. Great movie.
A great
I'm
movie.
sorry, guys. I went in a rabbit hole.
It's okay.
Love it.
It's what we do.
It's what we do.
It's what we do. Baby on board signs. Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
They were everywhere. And then there's got to be all these other things that are on board during that time. You know, they put, but baby on board signs, but actually in a study, they found that those were not great because they obscured vision and caused accidents. But anyway, yeah, the baby on board sign, it was like this little plastic sign that you would affix to it had to stick like a suction cup, and you'd put it in your rearview mirror to let people know you had a baby on board.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. But anyway, that was an 80s thing for sure.
That was an 80s thing.
Here's another 80s thing that almost happened but did not. Slash almost joined Poison.
Can you, I mean...
Future Guns N' Roses Slash auditioned for Poison. He auditioned for the band, but he realized he wasn't right for the job when they asked him if he would wear makeup. He was like, no. So, yeah.
I mean, I
It wouldn't be the
I
same.
can't even see that. I
No.
really can't even see that. Oh, well.
I know, wild stuff. Now, some people may have heard about Van Halen's famous M&M's concert rider. Okay, and the whole thing is that, and I remember reading about this back in the 80s. So Van Halen had this clause in their concert contract and riders that said that there would be a bowl of M&Ms set out in their dressing room, but those M&Ms would be removed of all brown M&Ms. All brown M&Ms would be removed, and that's not them being rock star jerks. Well, not totally them being rock star jerks.
I just read the rest of
Yeah.
that. I just got caught up in it.
Yeah.
I'd never heard this before. That's really cool.
The reason they did it is because
Really cool.
some of these places that would set up their electrical,
Right.
all the electric connections and stuff like that, they would do this to see how well they paid attention to the concert rider. If they found brown M&Ms, even after they told them not to, they would send people out to double check all the electric connections and everything for the stages, because that could kill somebody, and so
Oh, okay.
they
I got
would
you.
they
I
would
thought
check
it said they wanted a bowl full of brown M&Ms.
no, they
No,
wanted,
they wanted
M&Ms
minus
the brown
Okay.
M&Ms.
That's even better.
And that way, that was kind of their thing. They would go out and then check to see if the concert rigging and everything was done correctly, because that is kind of a genius indicator.
Well, I mean, we've said it on here before. We both almost saw Eddie Van Halen die in Barton Coliseum.
Oh, I know. That was scary.
Wow.
I was like, don't be doing that. An interesting factoid from the movie Ghostbusters, Chris. And one of my favorite lines in the entire movie from Dan Aykroyd, it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. There were 3 Stay Puft suits, and all were destroyed during filming. But yeah, I,
mean, the
love
girl
that
I'm
movie.
dating sleeps above the covers, 4 feet above the covers.
Yeah, that was a great movie. That
That
first
was a great
Ghostbusters is just fantastic. Chris, did you know that we did not have chicken McNuggets until 1981?
I can see that. I don't know why they still have them, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, they used to be better back then.
I don't know that they did.
I think they did.
No, I don't.
I think they
It's
did.
not one of my. I tried one time back in the 80s.
But you're not a big chicken fan, though, are you?
No, I'm not.
See, so there you go.
No,
However,
I still don't like chicken.
Chris,
I don't want any of
but
these
the
either.
rest of the world,
I had friends, you were included in that, they would go to McDonald's and buy the 20-pack or the
dang
40-pack and just sit there and just eat chicken McNuggets. I'm like,
Yep.
man, what the hell?
you dang right, because they were fantastic.
I'm just over here with my double cheeseburger.
Yeah. And listen, we can both agree on this. It was all cheaper back then.
It was very much cheaper.
It was a lot cheaper back then. Interesting factoid about from the 80s about Rick Allen, the drummer for Def Leppard. His mom got him the Def Leppard gig. He joined when he was just 14 years old. After his mom responded to the band's ad for him, he auditioned against 2 others. I'm sure today he would applaud his mother, but
No, don't go there, man. don't go there.
I'm just going to keep it right there. And then another.
You know what? Kudos to that dude, man. He came.
Listen,
back.
man.
They changed their music, but they changed it for him, and he pulled it off.
First of all, what does it say about your bandmates?
Oh,
That after your drummer loses an arm, they went, nope, that's our drummer. Mm-hmm. Until he says he's not our drummer.
so if y'all don't know this, I mean, he played the drums with both feet and one arm.
Yeah,
And
still
like
does.
he had like, I think it was his hi-hat or his snare on one foot.
Yeah,
I can't remember, but he played one
But
of those. Yeah, man, he pulled it off too. It was
he
good.
pulled it off, man.
Really cool concert.
It's a cool concert.
Guess who opened for them? When I
Which
saw
time?
that
Who?
it was 87.
Yeah,
88?
I did not get to go to that show.
Cinderella. No. I'm sorry. Tesla.
Tesla's a good band. I've
they
seen
were
them a
good.
couple of times.
But that was the stage that was in the center.
it was in the round, yeah.
And
So
they would rotate, and lasers were going everywhere. That was a
man.
cool concert. It really was.
Listen, there was a time in the late 80s, 87 on, after Hysteria came out. Def Leppard was just tearing it.
Yeah, they were, man. They had a lot of number ones too.
A lot of number ones off that album.
Yeah.
Interesting factoid from the 80s, Chris, about Prince.
I've told people this time and time again, not specifically
you tell
this
'em.
song or this band, but that is the musical genius of our
Yes.
time, without a
He
doubt.
is.
He was incredible. Prince wrote Manic Monday for the Beatles
The Bangles.
or the Bangles. Did I
Yeah.
say the Beatles?
You said the Beatles.
The Bangles. I was seeing Susanna
sorry,
Hoffs in my
Prince,
head.
what do you want me to play here? I don't know.
But that was written by Prince under his pseudonym Christopher.
Yeah.
Dude, what was that we were watching? It was a tribute to George Harrison.
Yeah.
It was My Guitar Gently Weeps. Holy crap!
Oh my gosh,
man.
guys! Stop! After you watch this video, go watch another one where Prince is playing.
Tom
While My
Petty is on
Guitar.
stage.
It's insanely
There's a
good.
bunch of people on stage, and it's a tribute to George Harrison after he died. And then Prince comes out and he plays the lead, and holy smokes!
Yeah, he tears it up. I mean, he tears it up.
Yes, he does.
So yeah, he was an amazing musician and a writer.
And you know who's who is really and truly, maybe not on the writing side of it, but on the musical side of it that I've seen personally in concert, and people are going to go, "What?" I have a daughter, Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber played. I watched him flawlessly play the piano, the drums, the guitar.
Yeah.
Danced like
Yeah.
nobody's business.
Right.
3-tier stage. I'll be honest with you. I was thoroughly impressed when I left there.
Yeah.
You know, and then seeing my daughter being so happy at
Yeah,
7 years
yeah,
old,
yeah.
8 years old, had a tear in my eye. You know, it
Oh,
was kind of
yeah,
cool. It was
yeah.
kind of cool. But that kid's amazing. And then Prince, God rest his soul. I wished he was still around.
Oh, I do
because
too.
We were losing out on a lot of good music.
Listen, man, I that was one of those things. Is like, well, if Prince ever comes again, I'm going to go, and then
Right.
you know,
Well, I mean, that Purple Rain album came out the summer
it came out
that
winter
you
84.
graduated. You
Yeah, it came out
graduated.
winter 84, and then
Yeah.
it blew up.
It was huge in my year.
And here's the funny thing about the year
85, it was
1984, when that came out. There were only 6 number one albums that entire year. Purple Rain was one of them.
Yep.
It was Thriller and Purple Rain that basically were number one most of that year, for the majority of it.
Well, there's two movies that I can think of right off the top of my head that basically the movie is written around the album.
Yeah.
Purple Rain's one of them,
Uh-huh.
and I highly recommend it if you've never seen it. It's a really good story, and it's kind of cool, but they play all the music off the album. The other
Yeah.
one is The Wall by Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that movie with Bob Geldof.
Oh my gosh, that
It really captured the album good too.
It
Well,
did,
yeah.
and it's really bizarre looking in a lot of places. And it took me years to really
Understand.
figure it out
Yeah.
what it was. But The Wall is like the wall of sanity, and it's
Yeah.
everything that made this guy go crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and man, it was really cool. Really cool. Both
Yeah.
of those movies are awesome.
Really good
Highly
movies.
recommend them.
Did you know, Chris, that Wendy's fired
For
the
being
Where's
what?
the Beef lady for being unfaithful?
Okay, first of all,
I guess you found the beef.
I can't. I just can't.
You
I
can't.
I
Okay.
can't. I want to, but I can't.
So Clara Peller.
Somebody slept with that woman.
No, it's not. I've often thought that about people I've seen at the state fair. You know,
Oh my gosh.
I've often thought that about people I've seen at the state fair. Somebody slept with that woman? But
Do you remember the rabbit hole real quick? I'm sorry, but do you remember the morning we were doing some kind of thing for Hollander? We were doing a keto.
yeah,
We were doing. They were filming
On
it.
the morning show.
It was a morning show.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were filming it. We had the mats out down there at the Chamber of Commerce, and we were going to run through this stuff. And that woman come driving in and ran over the mats. And she had 2 kids in the car. And you said, "Oh my God, she's bred." I have never forgotten that. I laughed. Oh my God.
man,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. But you remember the where's the beef thing that happened with Wendy's, the commercial and all that. Well, she got fired because she did an Chris cannot contain himself. That's not.
I didn't read very much after that first line. That's the only thing that went
No.
through my head. Oh my gosh. That's
Oh my
awful.
gosh.
I got tears. I look like Brad Mason at Hardee's at 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh no.
Oh no.
Y'all, I'm sorry. I got tickled.
That's okay. But Wendy's did fire the Where's the Beef lady for being unfaithful. Nobody slept with her, Chris. Her name. Oh man.
We're going to need that technical difficulties.
We're going to need the technical difficulties with Herb Alpert going bum, ba 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 bum, bum, ba da 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 da.
Oh my gosh, I'm hurting. I am hurting.
We're going to get through this one.
Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is exactly how me and Butch were growing up. Something would happen like this, and,
And we
we'd
just
laugh,
laugh for a long
have
time.
a good time.
But Clara Peller, who was famous for saying "Where's the beef," got fired from Wendy's because she did a commercial for Prego spaghetti, in which she said, "I found it." According to Wendy's, that quote inferred that Clara had found the beef somewhere other than Wendy's restaurants.
She found it in the Prego line.
She found it in the Prego
That's
jar.
funny. That's kind of sad in a way because that lady was awesome. Did
Oh
you
my
see
gosh.
that stuff I sent you and on the little group chat?
We have a group chat, by the way,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. It's
It's-
one we don't mind being in, actually.
It's us and the twins and our buddy Joe Powers. And I sent y'all that Scooby-Doo thing where it said that
Oh, that they never said
that.
yeah.
I'm calling BS on that.
A lot of people did.
I'm calling
I'm going to have to
BS
go
on
in
that.
and see. I'm going to have to watch.
I don't care what the interweb says.
I'm going to have to watch the episodes.
I know my memory.
Yeah.
I mean, we may be in a different timeline, Butch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We may have been shifted over.
Shifted over. I saw a Star Trek
Because
episode.
How
You
many,
got Mandela'd.
How many times have you heard that in your life, though?
Yeah, but it's also the punchline to a lot of jokes and stuff.
Yeah, but
80s too.
still,
so,
man.
I mean,
I watched that show
I'm going to
religiously.
watch. Okay, so I'm going to go through all the scripts of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, and see if we can find that. So,
I don't. The internet's evil.
yeah.
Butch loves it when I say that.
Yeah. So, Did you ever watch the Fresh Prince
I
of
did.
Bel Air?
And I loved Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil was great. Did you know he's voiced Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons?
I did not know that.
The late James Avery was a familiar presence in the household. He was Uncle Phil, who was awesome in that show.
Do you remember the one where?
But he was also Shredder.
Do you remember the one where he, the Fresh Prince, got down there in the pool hall and got all his money taken?
Yes, that's my favorite scene in there. And he goes and he out hustles the hustler. Yeah.
What was the butler's name? I can't remember what his name.
I can't remember, but he told him to break out
Lucille.
Break out Lucille.
Break out Lucille.
And he pulled out, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good episode.
Good. Oh, man. Chris, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which, by the way, also another movie that launched so many careers. You have
Sean Penn,
Anthony Edwards, Sean Penn.
Yep.
I know I'm missing some folks in there. Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold, the chick that played
Leah Thompson. Well, no, it wasn't
it's
Leah.
not Leah Thompson.
It's not Leah Thompson. I'm messing.
She was in a lot of movies.
She was in a lot of movies.
Single white female opposite.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
That's her.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. Phoebe Cates. Forrest Whitaker. You talk about an actor that came out of that. Eric Stoltz.
Yep.
Was also in there. He was one of the stoners.
So was Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's what I said. Anthony Edwards.
Did you? I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he went on to ER, of course, Revenge of the Nerds.
I started thinking about Phoebe Cates.
Yeah. Well, so did Judge Reinhold. Hey-o!
Yeah.
Anyway. If you know, you've seen the movie.
You've seen the movie, yeah, man.
You've seen the movie.
Phoebe Cates is one of those teenage heartthrobs.
For sure.
Her, Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody had posters of these two chicks on their wall.
Cameron Crowe, who wrote Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I believe directed it too, spent a year posing as a high school student to write a book about kids' sex lives, which is where Fast Times at Ridgemont High came from.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is.
I mean...
And I guess he had to look the part, look young. In 1983, Chris, the first U.S. cell phones weighed 2 pounds.
Yeah, I remember my mom had one that was in a bag.
Not the big, those big giant army.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying
phones.
that's the first one we had in our household was a bag phone.
A lot of people did in the 90s. We started off with the bag phones.
I think that was the late 80s.
Really?
Mid 80s, late 80s, something. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you know? Do you remember the Cabbage Patch Kids dolls?
There's a picture somewhere. At
Well,
my grandma's house.
Now we were older than that.
We were, but I had like 7 Cabbage Patch dolls. All like my 3 younger cousins all got Cabbage Patch dolls for Christmas, and so it was Christmas, and they all piled them on me. Thought it was funny, and they took a picture. So I'm holding all these Cabbage Patch
dolls.
Yep.
Those were, and like I said, that was, we were way beyond toys at that point, or at least those kind of toys. But it got to be such a thing that people, it was like, I remember seeing on the news, the fights that would break out.
Oh,
at Christmas time.
People are nuts, man.
Well, it's funny, man, because customs agents found 20,000 fake Cabbage Patch dolls. This is 1984. Before Christmas in 1984.
They were expensive.
They were expensive.
They were expensive and hard to get.
They were expensive and hard to get. But yeah, that was. I thought that was cool that they had seized 20,000 counterfeit Cabbage Patch dolls.
So 2 things I can tell you about me that is, and I'm going to tell you straight up, it ain't happening. I mean, people say, "Oh, don't ever say that." No, these aren't happening. I'm not going to a lake in a boat on the 4th of July. Not happening.
Agreed.
I'm not going to Black Friday sales anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think Black Friday is what it used to be. Because one thing that I was glad to see is that now a lot of stores are now closed on the day after Thanksgiving. Walmart started doing that, I think, this year or last year.
Closing
on the day after. So, maybe to cut down on some of this, because a lot of it's gone online.
It's crazy.
And I'm going to be honest, I do a lot of my shopping online now, so.
Conformist.
No, it has nothing to do with it. I am inherently lazy, Chris.
Right, I get it. Butch.
If I could find a way to not do something and do it.
Butch. I mean, drinking beer. It's all right.
He's drinking beer and podcasting, so, it's okay. Did you know you did not have to buckle up until 1984? And here's
Yes,
a
I
little
did.
fact. I didn't buckle up for
all
a
right.
while after that.
I have another side note on that. Here's my question.
Yeah.
Okay. I get in an automobile and I have to wear a seatbelt.
Right.
But you can get on a motorcycle and not wear a helmet.
Exactly. I know. Now, we did have a helmet law for a while, I
We
think.
did, but they
And
got
then
better lobbies.
They had a better lobby.
I'll
And
tell you
so-
this. I'll tell you this is my outlook on that. Here's the deal. I think until you're 18 years old, you should be required, mandatory. You have to wear a seatbelt. This is just me.
Well,
Just hear
seatbelt
me
you
out.
have to anyway.
Just hear me out. You
Yeah.
have to wear a seatbelt, but after the age of 18,
If you don't have to wear a helmet.
you don't have to wear a helmet. You shouldn't have to wear a damn seatbelt. It should be your choice.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Well, I'm going to pay for that." No, you're not. You're not going to pay for that. Somebody else's insurance is going to pay for it. The hospital is going to eat it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people are going to end up with organ donor cards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's ludicrous to me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's a rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
I'll drink another beer. I'll calm down.
That's okay. At the end of the day, folks, we're just two grumpy old men.
Right?
At the end of the day, we're
Do
just
y'all
two
remember the
grumpy old
comment on the driving in the fast lane? You know,
Yeah.
remember that? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
don't
got
be doing that.
I've got issues, people.
No, listen, I'm totally with you on the driving 55 in the fast lane.
Did we talk about movie theater tickets? And I know we talked about this at an early age because we were at the movies every
time,
Friday and
yeah.
Saturday night. I mean, that's where we went. That's what we
Yep.
did. It didn't matter if you'd seen the movie 22 times, you were going because all your friends were going.
All your friends were going.
So at 12 years old, you have to pay an adult price for a movie ticket.
Yeah, but
you cannot see an adult movie. Mm-hmm. Are you taking up any more room than you did when you were 11 or
Nope.
if you're 72?
Nope.
One seat. And nobody complains about this.
Nobody complains about it.
Do you? I mean, am I off my rocker on that?
No,
I think it's BS. I thought it was BS then at 12.
that's right. I agree, Chris.
I'm sorry, Butch.
That's okay.
I got my little soapbox. I brought it with me.
You brought your soapbox. Once again, at the end of the day,
Where's
we're
the
two
beef?
grumpy old men.
Where's that beef?
Yeah. I don't know how much of that's going to stay in there, but that's going to be an outtake that definitely makes the
It is
definitely
what it
makes the
is,
internet.
man. I'm sorry.
Finally, Chris, did you know that in 1983, I'm sorry, in 1980,
absolutely.
83 million people tuned in to see who shot J.R. Ewing.
Absolutely. Remember
But did
that.
you also know that that's not the record for the most viewers?
No, what is
MASH, the
the final episode?
Yep, final
I remember
episode
that
of MASH.
too. I watched
That was
I
in
watched it.
'83, but so in '80 you had 83 million people tuning in to find out who shot Jr.
That's incredible.
And the final episode of MASH beat that by just a little bit there.
Yeah, but
So-
they left everybody hanging for what, 6 months?
Oh yeah, it was a thing.
It was
that
like
summer.
a tornado. It was
You know,
who
there
shot JR shirts were right next to Iran and Tammy Faye Mall shirts.
Yeah, they were.
I mean,
that and Mickey Mouse flipping off Iran. You know, those were all shirts that came out in '80.
So didn't John Anderson's Swinging come out about that
84.
same time?
83 or 84. Yeah.
I'm going to have to back check that.
I know you are, but you know what? I'm right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Retro Show. If we haven't welcomed you, go ahead and look.
No. You go ahead. No.
No, I'm not going to leave before you check. Well, I'm going to sit right.
You said
I'm
welcome to the Retro
I'm
Show.
going to sit right here.
All right, really? Well, Butch, I don't know if I can pull it off with this equipment.
It's an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Me and my little anti-Apple.
Anti-Apple.
Yeah.
1983, January.
Yep.
January 83.
January '83. Almost.
That's all this stuff happened about the same time. It was just one
Yeah, it was
thing
cl-
after
yeah.
another. It was.
a few
That's
years apart.
wild.
That's wild.
Guys, I'm sorry I pretty much wrecked this episode tonight, but
No, you
I
didn't.
got tickled.
This is
and
gonna
I
be
had-
this is gonna be one of the most fun. People are gonna love you for it, and it's gonna be fun. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out more about the show, retroshow.net. If you want to buy stuff, like
For whom the brew flows.
You go to retroshow.net. We have a store there. Here, we'll put it right there.
Look at that product placement.
Product placement. There you go.
You're Vanna White in that.
I'm telling you, man. But yeah,
that was another icon from the '80s we haven't really talked about.
Yeah, Vanna White. Yeah.
Is she still on that show?
She's still on that show, but Pat Sajak is retiring.
Is he retiring?
Yeah. I don't know if she's going to continue or not.
That's an awesome show. It really is.
I
enjoy. I mean, you turn it on. I don't watch it religiously, but if it's on, you'll stop.
Yeah.
Try to figure out the puzzle.
She's like 60-something now.
Huh?
She's
got to be older than that.
I don't know.
She's got to be older than that.
Quick, to the internet.
Oh, my God.
How old is Vanna White?
Vanna White, she's hot.
I think she's late 60s or mid 60s. I could be wrong.
Wait.
She's got to be close to 70 now, right?
She's got to be in her mid. She's 67.
67. Okay, so
she's
not
10 years our senior.
Yeah.
But the years have been kinder to her.
Yeah. Yeah. I always tell people my wife ages like wine and I age like a banana.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So
me too.
Anyway, folks, retroshow.net. We've been trying to get out of here, but you folks we're just holding you hostage. This is like hostage situation. Day 72. Dun 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 dun.
Do you remember that movie? Was it The Negotiator? It was Kevin Spacey and somebody else. And I was at the theater with my friend David Sherrill. We always went to movies together.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The promo for that? What do they call those?
The trailer.
The trailer.
Yeah, right.
The trailer for that movie came out. David leaned over and goes, "Great. A movie about two guys that can talk you to death." I busted out laughing. I'm sorry.
Two guys that can talk you to death. Oh, man, this has been a fun episode, dude. I got to tell you.
Yeah. I lost
episode.
it and could
no.
not recover.
I may have to edit part of that out, but the rest of that part I edit out is going to make it to the web. Trust me.
Oh, my God.
That's a Facebook moment there. Ladies and gentlemen, the virtual audience loved this episode.
They did.
They did.
Hey, show some love. Let's go. Let's go.
There you go. There you go. Hey, guys, listen, we absolutely do appreciate each and every one of you that tune in each and every week to listen/watch this show. We do it because it's fun. It's fun for us. And if we can, make you smile, then
my ribs are going to be sore tomorrow.
If we can make you smile, then we have done our part there. Listen, I love every one of you, but I only probably like about 6 of you. Have your day, people.
AMF, guys.